You are welcome to Major Escape Outreach Ministry. My name is Apostle Owusu Asare. This is a continuation of the topic dealing with ancestral forces. Last time we realized that when they are dealing with you, distance is no barrier. And they have what we call the silent point, where they try to allow you to get to the pinnacle of your success, and then they start to bring you down. Remember the story about the man who works in UK as an accountant and finally became a taxi driver. Today, I want also to continue this powerful message. I want you to just relax and listen to what the Spirit of God will speak to you about concerning these wicked forces. The powers of our Father's house has no plan, good plan whatsoever for anybody on this earth. No matter what happens, they ensure that they program one negative thing in or in any other person in the family. They keep a family register and ensure that their evil programs run through everyone who is linked by this umbilical cord. This umbilical cord is something that we see physically, but spiritually it links us to these ancestral forces. Maybe you don't know your father, but once his blood is in you, he has that forces, that ancestral link has control over you. I remember one of my messages, I shared a story about a pastor from Southern America. He was an orphan, and through deliverance he was delivered, and one day he became a full minister of God. He also decided that with the 5-bedroom house that has been given to him, he will get more these orphans to the house. Do you know what happened? He said he was there and all of a sudden something moved within him and he started sleeping with the boys in the house. So he called one of his ministers so that they will do something about this situation. And in the process, when he's being delivered, they got to know that that is what the father has been doing. And anytime the father they want to kill him, or they get any slave, the father sneak to the camp and sleep with the men. He doesn't know the father, but because he's having the blood in him, this thing was working. So today, one of the things I want us to discuss is there is no exception when it comes to these spiritual forces. No matter how educated you are not exempted. Scientists, smart businessmen, those who are in the military, as well as those who have traveled all over the world, are all victims of these powers of our Father's house. You may think maybe you can pray a lot. It is good. But let me tell you, if you don't deal with them, they will deal with you. The question is, why do they get chance in our lives? It's because of the link they have with us. They have a legal ground in our lives. So if you don't deal with these powers, you cannot really enjoy life on earth. Even your Christian life will leave much to be desired. Something will be keeping you down even when you want to be serious with God. Some people can't pray not because of anything, because these ancestral forces cause them not to pray. You may ask why, how? At times when you wake up to pray, don't you experience such things, something like you feel
you are hungry, you want something to eat, or all of a sudden something crops up and you stop the prayer. All these things are plans and activities of these evil forces in our Father's house. And today the Lord wants us to tackle it. That is why he has started revealing it to us. And if we are able to deal with it, at least God will help us to come out of this problem. Maybe you can say you don't have anything with them, you don't know them, but just look at the story. Just go through the stories I've given you, and you know that it doesn't matter what happened. If the enemy wants to fight you, the only thing he has to do is that he has to make sure that he has a legal ground to stand upon. That is why Jesus said, the prince of this world is passing, but he has nothing in me. My brother, my sister, it doesn't matter how educated you are, it doesn't matter your level spiritual. If the devil has a legal something, a property in you, he will always make sure that he make good use of it. Today I want to give an example of some of the problems emanating from these powers of our Father's house. Anytime you have intense marital problems, which many are going through today, the best thing is that sit down, analyze things, ask yourself questions. What are the trends when it comes to marriage in my Father's house? What are some of the things that happens? Maybe in your Father's house, it is written down that you can marry, but you can't give birth. You can marry, give birth, but the money to look after the children is not there. You can marry, give birth, but to make it in life in other areas is not there. The other one also is converting many into footmats that others march on. That anytime you will be somebody that they will use you to gain what they want. When you are that type and this thing is constantly happening in your life, don't take it lightly. Just make sure that you sit down and analyze it. That's why I like this verse. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Jesus said, examine yourself and know if you are still in the faith. The reason why we need to examine ourselves is that the devil comes like a thief in the night, and he sees where there is loopholes, and that is where he makes sure that he fires, and he makes sure that he brings you down. Another example is making people live in the cursed houses. When you want to rent a house, they will make sure that you rent a house that are altars in the house, or they will make sure that you build a house in the place where evil altars are, so that they can get opportunity to attack you. Another example is the powers. You will always be having dreams, sitting in an examination, or answering questions that are irrelevant. Another example is financial embarrassment or spiritual stagnation. No matter how the person is trying to grow or struggle to move up, he noticed that things are not working. When all these things are happening, my brother, my sister, it is not just something you sit down and say it's normal. There are forces that have sat down, designed, and set time to these things. That is why it doesn't come because it wants to come. It has its own timing. In the realms of the spirit, they deal with season and timing. That is why when the angel of God met Abraham, they told him, At the time of life, a year by this time. Time of life means he's talking about their season. A year by this time, they have related it to our time. Every spiritual powers, they want to deal with you, they have their season and they relate it to our timing. In certain families, you cannot cross certain age. I read a story about this powerful man of God, T.D. Jakes. He said in their family, you don't cross 40 years. So when he was, I think, 39, he started praying that God, this should not be my portion. And God delivered him. So when he was 49 to 50, the church wanted to celebrate and enjoy with him. He told them, you don't know, the day I feel God has done a miracle in my life is when I was about to hit 40. Because in our family, nobody gets across 40. God bless you. I believe that this wonderful message will enhance any hidden secrets that the enemy is standing upon to operate in your life. Never give up. Don't take things for granted. Don't think I'm far away, so nothing can happen to me. Don't think I have reached the height I want, so nothing can happen to me. Don't think because I am smart, nothing can happen to me. The devil don't go with smartness. It doesn't go with distance. He makes sure that when you fall into their legal trap, they will deal with you as they have planned. That is why Jesus said in Matthew that come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden, and he, Jesus, he will give you rest. He said his burden is light. That tells you that the struggle you are going through, Jesus is having the lighter one. So come to him and he will give you the rest you need in your life. Don't be too much thinking that you are spiritually sound, so that is all. Go to Jesus because he is the author and finisher of your life. God bless you. Hope to see you next time. Stay blessed.